This is the Boston Celtics newsfeed on CLNS. Today is Sunday, June 11th, 2017. This is Corey Prescott reporting for CLNS, the leading online provider of audio-video coverage for the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics have the top pick in the 2017 NBA draft, and when conducting inventory from around the league, the number one pick in this year's draft holds supreme value as a trade asset amongst the rest of the NBA. Where does it stand in the unofficial rankings of the NBA's 2017 best trade assets? That is what Danny Ainge, in addition to determining the value of his current roster, along with targeted free agents from around the league, has to do this summer. Summertime living is supposed to be easy. For Ainge and the Celtics, any decision making could go a long way in determining the fortune of the franchise. For those pining for a superstar in Boston and are hoping for Ainge to pull the trigger for an established talent, there isn't much history of number one picks getting dealt. After getting LeBron James to come back to Cleveland in the summer of 2014, the Cavs dealt away Andrew Wiggins to Minnesota State's in an effort to become an immediate contender. Chris Webber was traded on draft night in 1993 from Orlando to Golden State for Anthony Hardaway, and although his first two seasons in Chicago were more than productive, the Bulls elected to trade Elton Brand to the Clippers for the draft rights for Tyson Chandler in 2001. Celtics Hub's Brian Robb outlines 5 players Ainge should be making calls on. Robb points to New Orleans' Anthony Davis, Minnesota's Karl Anthony Towns, Denver's Nikola Jokic, Golden State's Klay Thompson, and New York's Kristaps Porzingis. Celtics Nation, putting aside whether these organizations would pull the trigger on such a trade, who would you prefer Ainge targets out of these 5 players? Despite currently residing in salary cap hell, and that's not even counting Drew Holiday's free agency this summer, the Pelicans can only think about dealing the 24-year-old Davis if the ship has already sunk, and even then, Davis means everything to this New Orleans franchise. Trade him and the Pelicans might as well relocate. Minnesota and Denver have little to no reason to think about dealing Towns or Jokic, yet Thompson and Porzingis would appear to have a little wiggle room should Ainge target either player. The Warriors are of course one win away from winning their second title in 3 seasons, and would seem to have little to no reason to trade the 27-year-old Thompson, a career 42% three-point shooter and an elite defender at his position. Yet the Warriors will have key financial decisions to make starting this summer. Stephen Curry is in line to make around $205 million over the next 5 years, and Kevin Durant can hit free agency this summer yet again if he chooses to do so. Durant has said that he'll take slightly less than the max amount to keep Andre Iguodala and Sean Livingston, 2 key reserves who are free agents this summer. All it takes, however, is one team to overpay for Iguodala and Livingston, and the Warriors could find themselves with a potentially thin bench. Trading Thompson to the Celtics would provide the Warriors cap room to work with, as well as the opportunity to groom a young superstar in the making. No one knows what Phil Jackson and the Knicks are up to, not even Jackson himself, and in turn, Porzingis already seems to be fed up with owner James Dolan and the Knicks' ways. Porzingis skipped exit meetings with Knicks management, and according to reports, Porzingis is frustrated with the organization's lack of direction. The 21-year-old Latvian averaged 18.1 points, 7.2 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game in 66 games last season in New York, his second season in the NBA. The 7'3" Porzingis was put in some confounding situations on the court last season with the Knicks, namely pairing him in the front court with free agent bust Joakim Noah, as well as with shoot first, shoot second, and shoot third players in Carmelo Anthony and Derrick Rose. Porzingis' destiny as a rim-protecting stretch 5 would be a true asset in Brad Stevens' offensive and defensive game plan. Be sure to check out CSNNE's Abby Chin on this week's Celtics Beat Podcast with Larry H. Russell. Abby and Larry discuss everything Celtics, including handing out player grades for the team's 2016-2017 season. Abby also lauds Al Horford and the impact he made during the season, saying, quote, "I know that we say it over and over, but he makes everyone on the floor better, whether it's from passing and facilitating, the offense, and just from leadership. He's a winner and he does what it takes to play winning basketball." End quote. The NBA Finals gets one remaining day off before resuming for Game 5 Monday night in Oakland, California. Golden State leads Cleveland 3-1. Tip-off begins at 9 p.m. Eastern Time on ABC. We're all about fresh content here on the Celtics newsfeed, and so are our new friends over at HelloFresh. HelloFresh is the meal kit delivery service that makes cooking more fun so you can focus on the whole experience, not just the final plate. Each week, HelloFresh creates new delicious recipes with step-by-step instructions on how to prepare these super fresh ingredients. Now, loyal listeners of CLNS Media can get this very special offer. Because of your support to Celtics newsfeed, you can use the promo code BEAT30 for $30 off your first week at HelloFresh. Continue supporting fresh content and fresh food by trying HelloFresh for free. Simply visit HelloFresh.com and enter the promo code BEAT30. To stay up to speed in the 17-time World Champions, follow CLNS on Twitter at CLNS Media. Be sure to subscribe to the Celtics newsfeed both on iTunes and Stitcher, as well as the CLNS mobile podcast app. This has been Corey Prescott for Celtics Newsfeed.